Lecture de la parole de Dieu dans Habakkuk chapitre 2 et nous lisons seulement 2 versets qui sont versets 2 et 3.
L'Éternel m'adressa la parole.
L'Éternel adressait la parole.
Et il dit.
Mais ça le dit.
Écris la prophétie.
Il dit ouais, prophétie ça, écris.
Grave-la sur des tables.
Gravez-les sur des tables.
Afin qu'on la lise couramment.
Pourquoi pour ça me le graver sur des tables? Parce que moi je veux rassurer que yo l'île en pile, yo l'île de très souvent.
Car c'est une prophétie dont le temps est déjà fixé.
Parce que c'est une prophétie et que tant prophétie a fixé déjà.
Elle marche vers son terme.
La marche vers terme.
Et elle ne mentira pas.
Les pas mentir.
Si elle tarde,
si elle prend retard,
attends-la.
Attends-la.
Car elle s'accomplira.
Parce qu'elle a accompli.
Elle s'accomplira certainement.
Elle a accompli certainement. L'état bon pour nous parler un peu de.
It'd be good for us to speak to you a little bit about what prophecy this is. But it would take so much time. We won't have time to enter the message for tonight if we sit only on this prophecy.
Et le sujet que nous avons traité avec vous ce soir,
the subject that we're treating with you this night, this evening is titled,
Attends-la.
Though it linger, wait for it.
Si elle tarde,
though it linger,
attends-la.
wait for it.
Chers amis, ce texte d'Habakkuk, c'est un texte qui est très
My dear
populaire,
friends,
qui est
the
très connu.
text of Habakkuk is a text that's very popular and well
Populaire en ce sens que
Popular
en
in
pile
the
dans
sense
nous
that
utilise le texte
many of us use this
au
text
moment de notre prière.
during our prayers.
Nous souvent utilisons le texte
We often use this text,
n'est-ce pas, si nous sommes capables de dire comme ça,
if we
pour
would
nous
say it like
rappeler
this, to remind
à Dieu de promesses.
God of His promises.
Nous toujours attendons
We
l'accomplissement de la
are always
promesse
waiting for the fulfillment
et de la prophétie de Dieu.
God's promise and prophecy.
Mais un bagage qui a attiré attention moi dans le texte ça,
But there's something that caught my eye.
c'est le fait
In
qu'il
this
dit
passage,
c'est
it's
une prophétie.
The fact that he says it's a
Il dit
prophecy.
Habakkuk écrit ça.
It says Habakkuk wrote
Écrit dans
this.
côté pour moi pas jamais.
And write it somewhere where
Parce que son
people won't
prophétie
forget, because it's a prophecy,
est temps déjà fixé.
yet for an appointed time.
Ça peut à comprendre que
This leads me to
s'il
believe that
précisait que c'est une prophétie,
if he precisely
temps
mentioned
déjà
it's a
fixé,
prophecy and the time, it has an
il
appointed
aide à
time,
comprendre
it
que-
helps you understand
qu'il y a une prophétie
that there are
dont le
prophecies
temps n'est pas fixé.
whose time is
Il aide à comprendre qu'il y a une prophétie
It
qui
helps
juste là
understand that
comme
there's
ça,
prophecies that
mais qui
are
pas
just
une
like
date
that,
d'expiration.
but don't have an
Il est juste
expiration
là
date. They're
qu'il
just
passe,
dropped, and when it passes, it passes.
Je ne vais pas dire
I don't want to say
Jean passe.
how it passes, it passes.
l'aile
But
passe,
when it passes, it passes.
Il y a des prophéties comme ça au niveau
There are
de la
some
Bible.
prophecies like this in the level
Par
of the
exemple,
Bible. For
l'Éternel parle avec
example,
Abraham.
God spoke to Abraham.
Lorsque Abraham vient pour un ensemble de choses
When
pas pour
Abraham
en
received a
Égypte,
bunch of
l'Éternel dit à Abraham,
things
écoutez,
in
moi tout
Egypt,
bagaille.
and the Lord said to Abraham, listen, I will tell you something.
Descendants yo pral esclave
Your descendants will be
dans un
slaves
pays
in
étranger.
a foreign country,
Il a fait 400 ans.
and they will spend 400
Donc, en d'autres
years.
termes,
So in other
c'est une
terms,
prophétie dont
it's
le
a
temps
prophecy
est fixe.
in a fixed
Voilà.
time. You're here?
Il a fait 400 ans.
They will spend 400 years.
Après 400
And
ans,
after the 400 years, listen very
le
carefully
temps
and
de
understand.
l'esclavage est fixé,
The time of the slavery is
mais le
fixed,
temps de la délivrance
but
n'est
the
pas fixé.
time of the deliverance is not.
Il a fait 400
He
ans.
said they will spend 400
Après
years, and
400 ans,
after the 400
m'a
years,
envoyé un libérateur
I will send a deliverer.
qui vient délivrer.
To
Même
free
pas dire
them.
après 400 ans combien de
But
temps
they
le
didn't
libérateur
say
prend.
after 400 years how long that
Au
would
point que
take. To the point
libérateur,
that the deliverer,
Après 400 ans,
after 400 years,
ça arrivait 30 ans
this took 30
avant
years
d'arriver
until
aller
they
et
reached
libérer.
and freed Israel.
Ça, c'est une prophétie dont le temps
This
est fixé.
is a prophecy in a fixed time.
Pourtant, ce même
Yet,
Dieu,
the same God
il était parlé avec Abraham avant.
spoke with Abraham before.
Il dit Abraham,
And said,
à
Abraham,
75 ans, j'en ai Abraham. Il dit Abraham,
He said, Abraham, leave your father's house. And I always tell somebody this. I see there's a bunch of people who want to be like Abraham, but that's the worst person who would want to be like. A man who is at this age, this late age. And he's trying for his wife. He wants to have children in the house. If it's not the Lord that kicked him out, he wouldn't leave the house. That's a bad example. He said, okay, leave the house. You go somewhere, and when you reach, I will make of you a great nation. And I understand that if the Lord would, well, he can't be more elder than this. He would stay at his uncle's house. There would be two uncles. And he said, go. I will make you a great nation. But it doesn't say what time. He doesn't say how long that would take. In contrary to after he was saying that the people spent 400 years, but in the beginning he said Abraham go, but he didn't tell him how long. So it's a prophecy in a time that's not fixed. So Abraham went, and he doesn't know how long it would take. 75, 76, 70. And each time the Lord saw Abraham, he said, remember, I will bless you, I will make you a great nation. Abraham is waiting. 78, he met him and said, remember, I'll bless you, I'll make you a great nation. And 90 years, he met him. Remember, I'll bless you, I'll make you a great nation. 95, he met him. Remember, I'll bless you, I'll make you a great nation. And he kept anointing Abraham like this. And Abraham already tried and did make Ishmael. And he would say, remember, I'll bless you. I'll make of you a great nation. And Abraham started to laugh at God. Abraham laughed. Abraham laughed so hard that he fell to the floor to laugh. I want you to understand, someone who's laughing so much at somebody and is rolling on the ground, it's as if Abraham doesn't want to say, it's as if Abraham wants to say, you're someone that's joking. How long have you been telling me that you're blessed? And he said, I want to tell you something. I have Ishmael. I'm okay with him. You know the only thing I ask? Let Ishmael live in your face. And he took Abraham 25 years to receive what God said he would give him. So it's a promise in time that is not fixed. I don't know tonight how many of you have a promise on your over your head that the time is not fixed. I don't know how many of you have something that God promised you for a long time. For a long time he promised you in your house, he will marry you, you give you children, you give you a business, he will raise you in dignity. 2020, you're waiting this. 2021, 2022. He reminds you with the prophet, you go to a revival, the prophet called you and said, put his hand on you, prayed, and he said, this is your last year, 2020, reached you nothing. My prayer for you tonight, may God fix a time for your deliverance tonight. May God fix a time for his promise to be accomplished in your life tonight. Abraham said, leave this. Let this be because it's a promise. Finally, you didn't give me time, you gave me a date. But let Ishmael. And the Bible says, Abraham reached a phase where while he's sitting under the tree, and while he's singing like this, the Bible said that he finished eating, and there was 3 people passing, 3 young men. And Abraham decided to invite them in his house and offer food. And when he finished offering them food, then he called Sarah and prepared beautiful meal. And they finished eating. Their stomachs were full. And they said, Abraham. They said, Abraham. They didn't even speak with Abraham. They said, Abraham, where's your wife? And he said, here Sarah is in the kitchen. And one of them said, the next year at this time, you will have a child. But now the time is fixed. But why is the time fixed? We're the people of Tabernacle. What made the time fixed? Why was before the time was not fixed? And why is the time fixed now? The Bible said they just finished eating and their stomachs were full. And they said, where is Sarah? Next year, after 24 years, and now you have a date. After this food, after this game, after this meal, next year, around this time, you will have. Often, my dear friends in the Lord, we pray, we have promises of God in our lives. It's not often realized, right? It's not realized in the way that it's supposed to be, that you realize, because the simple fact that we don't understand the spiritual principle. Because quite simply, we don't understand that in the spiritual world, you don't give anything for nothing. And my friend, as long as Protestants understand this, as long as the church doesn't reach to understand this, you can go to all revivals that exist. Well, look at how long you've been going to revivals. Look how long they've been praying over your head. Look how long they've been pouring oil in your hand. They pour oil in your hand, on your head, in your eyes. And some people lose clothes in oil. You go to the prophets, they face you to the ground. There's some falls where people take from the prophets. When you're older, you understand this because of the way that the prophet faces you to the ground. I guarantee you. You'll pay this. Because of the fall that you received from the prophet, you didn't need this. There's a way that a prophet faced you to the ground. There's a hit that a prophet gave you on your head because sometimes you don't want. You weren't supposed to take that hit. You weren't supposed to fall. You wouldn't need to go after. You know why? Because you don't understand. Le principe de Dieu, la loi divine veut que, quel que soit ça ou gagner dans le spiritual, there's something you do for it. But now, il dit, écoutez, une fois que les fins manger, one of them said, eh bien, année prochaine, next year, at this time, when I was younger, when I was younger, because I'm not old. You're scared to say I'm not old. So when I was even younger, they taught me that when God said he's going to do something, well then in the time that he said he's going to do it, he will do it in the time anyways. And I've spent a long time understanding like this. I said that when God has said he's going to do something in the time that he said he's going to do it, he would do it anyways. Isn't that what they taught us? Well, that's what they taught us. That's what they taught me.
saisi pour me
But I'd be
tendre.
surprised to hear
L'Éternel
that
cap dit
the Lord
Habakkuk.
would say to Habakkuk,
Écris ça sur table là.
write this on the tablet.
Écris pour qu'elle
Write
lire
it so they can
couramment.
read it continuous.
C'est une
It's
prophétie.
a prophecy.
D'arriver déjà.
Time has already arrived.
Temps
The
fixé
time
déjà.
is already fixed.
L'elle dit Habakkuk,
When
temps
he said to
fixé déjà, me
Habakkuk,
senti
the time is
Habakkuk
fixed, I
content.
feel that Habakkuk is happy.
L'Éternel dit son
The Lord
prophétie.
said it's a prophecy.
L'Éternel dit
The
écrit
Lord
sur table là.
said, write on the
L'Éternel dit
tablets.
temps fixé.
The Lord said the time is
Il dit
fixed.
Abba,
And he said to Habakkuk,
homme de bagaille maintenant.
let me tell you something.
Si elle est arrivée,
If you see the time arrive
il faut qu'on fait.
and it's not accomplished,
Attendez.
wait for it.
Écoutez,
Listen,
c'est bon Dieu.
you're God.
Où fixe le temps?
You fix the time.
Qui ça peut empêcher le fait?
What is preventing it to be done?
Qui est-ce qui a bloqué?
Who could block you?
Qui est-ce qui a dit ou pas
Who
fait?
can tell you to not do it?
Ou l'impression,
You have the impression
Habakkuk t'a dit,
that
je sais pas
Habakkuk would
comment
say,
dire.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Et comme tu t'as dit,
It's as if you would tell someone,
mon cher m'a bon $1000.
see, I will give you
Les 10.
$1,000 at the 10th,
Mon
on
connaît
the
mon
10th.
gain
But you
comme.
know the person has money. You know the person has great
Mon
means.
multimillionnaire
A
comme le monde.
multi-millionaire standing
Le jour
before
le
you, and they
10
said, on the 10th
septembre,
of September,
$1000.
I'll give you $1,000.
Et pourquoi moi c'est content?
And you start to be happy. But let me tell you something.
Soit 10 septembre,
If you see the 10th of September arrive and I don't give it to you, wait for it.
je sens j'en t'allais répondre mon ça.
I feel how you would answer that
Ou pas
person.
perdre $10,000.
You wouldn't want to lose the money.
Ou pas dire rien.
You won't say anything.
ça tient
But I
down.
feel that inside of you,
Ou t'a dit le
you
bagage.
would say something.
Parce qu'on a l'impression
Because you have the
qu'on
impression that
passe
someone that's
dans bêtise.
joking with you.
Les Habakkuk temps fixé
Said to
déjà.
Habakkuk, the time is already appointed.
Si elle tarde,
And if you see
Attends-la.
it's late, wait for it.
mais qu'on bagaille
But there's
il pas comme
something
garantie.
that he gave as a guarantee.
Comment ça fait pour
He
temps?
said, you know why you must wait?
Parce que l'a
Because
accompli,
when it will be accomplished,
elle a accompli.
and it will be
certainement.
accomplished, certainly.
Ça qu'arrive qu'elle pas
It could
accompli
happen
dans
that it's
l'air
not
de
accomplished in
accompli.
the time that's supposed to be
Ça
accomplished.
qu'arrive qu'elle
It could
prend plus
happen
de temps
that it
qu'on
takes
pensait
longer than you
d'après.
thought it would take.
Mais qu'on bagaille ou
But
doit
there's something
connaître, même si
you need to
elle
know
prend
that
plus de
even though you
temps,
see it takes longer,
attends.
it will be accomplished.
et pour bien parler à Habakkuk.
And to speak clearly with Habakkuk, he said to Habakkuk, listen,
Et pas mentir.
it's not a lie.
Elle le mentira.
I am not
Et
lying.
pas mentir, mon non.
I didn't give you a lie.
L'a accompli.
It will be accomplished,
Accompli, certainement.
and it will certainly
Mais
come.
seul samedi,
But the only thing that I told you, Habakkuk, if you see that the time has passed, wait for it.
si elle tarde, attends-la.
Though it,
Quand elle s'accomplira,
wait for it, it will
certainement.
certainly come.
Tardé
and
ici
not delay.
traduit par
Delay here
venir.
translates as coming.
Tardé ici
Delay
traduit
here
par
translates
arriver,
as arriving,
réaliser
as fulfilling
après le temps.
after the
En
time.
d'autres termes, si
In
elle
other terms,
arrive après
if
le
it
temps
arrives
prévu,
after the foreseen time,
si elle arrive
if
après
it
le temps
arrives
fixé,
after the appointed time,
si tu trouves qu'elle soit en
if you
retard,
find it delayed,
Habakkuk,
Habakkuk,
ne sois pas dans l'inquiétude.
don't be worried.
Attends-la.
Wait for it.
J'ai envie de me dire ce
My dear
soir,
friends, I want to tell you tonight
si on semait
that if you sow
et qu'on a l'impression
and
que
you have
le
the
temps
impression or
fixé
feel
pour la
that
moisson
the set
est
time for
dépassé,
harvest has passed,
ou semer dans la
you
caille
sow
de
your
Dieu.
time in the house of God.
Yo dis où c'est pour
They
venir
tell
l'église,
you
pour
to
venir.
come to church, you come to
Yo
church.
dis où faut
They
adorer,
tell
ou
you you have
adorer.
to worship, you
Yo
worship.
dis faut
They tell
travailler
you
dans
have
l'œuvre
to
de
work
Dieu,
in
ou
the
travail,
work
ou dans
of God,
chorale,
you
ou
work
dans
in the choir, in the
ou dans
women's
groupe, ou
ministry,
dans
you're in
clinique,
groups,
ou
you're
dans
in
l'école du
cleaning, you're in
dimanche.
the Sunday
Tout ça,
school.
yo tout
Everything that they
fait,
tell you
ou
to
fait.
do, you do it.
Ou semer
And
énergie,
you sow your energy,
ou semer compétence,
sow your skills,
ou semer
you
l'argent.
sow your money.
Mais on rend compte
But you realize that
le temps est qui fixé pour la
the
moisson
set time for the harvest
dépassé
has
et que
passed
rien ne s'est
and
produit.
nothing has
Moi, je
happened.
dis à soir,
I came tonight to
ne
tell
sois
you,
pas dans l'inquiétude.
don't worry,
Attends.
wait for it.
Attends.
Wait for it.
Ce soir, je ne sais pas qui
And this
promesse
evening,
pour
I don't
Dieu
know
fait
what
sur la vie.
promise God made in your life.
Je ne sais pas les
I
promesses
don't know
que Dieu
the
fait.
promises that God made
Qui
you
déjà, qui ont un temps qui passait déjà.
with a set time that has already passed.
Dieu peut-être te promet
God may
tout.
have promised
Eh bien, pour lever en dignité dans l'année
to raise you in
2023,
dignity in 2023.
Dieu peut-être te promet
And
tout.
God promised
Pour mon propre caillou en
to give you your
2024.
own house in 2024.
tu as une
And
belle
surely
révélation de
you
la part de
receive
Dieu,
great
que
revelations
le bras
from
levé en
God that He will
dignité,
raise you in
que la vie
dignity,
va
that your
changer,
life will change,
business n'a
that
pas
the
marcher,
business will work,
l'église va
that the
fonctionner
church will
plus bien,
function better,
travail
that
va
your
avoir
job will
promotion,
give you a
on pourra
promotion,
vivre
that
l'autre
you will
vie.
live another
Assurément,
life.
bon Dieu
Assuredly,
garantit
God
ça déjà.
guaranteed you
Et
this
vous regardez
already.
où est
And
temps
you look and
passé,
see that time has
rien ne s'est
passed and
produit,
nothing
rien ne
produced,
change.
nothing
Aucun
changed.
pression au
You have the
contraire,
impression,
bagaille au aller de
that
mal en
things are
pire, bagaille au vide
becoming
plus mal,
worse.
aucun
Things are
pression
becoming
en
worse.
l'air ou
You have the impression
descendre,
you're above
on
and you're
approcher
falling
vers
below
les
while you're
promesses de
approaching
Dieu,
next
vers
to
la
the promise of
prophétie
God.
de Dieu.
After the
Aucune
prophecy of
pression
God,
que
you have the
tout va
impression that
mal.
everything is
C'est les
going
gens qui ont
wrong.
pression, mon
Then you have the
abandonné,
impression people are
mon
turning away,
abandonné,
people are
mon
leaving you,
brûlé.
people are
Les gens qui ont
leaving.
pression,
You have the
mon pas
impression that
comprendre,
people don't
aucune
understand you.
pression à
You have the
travail
impression that
en
you're
vain.
working
À
in
chaque
vain.
fois, faut
Each time you
monter.
do an effort
Au
to
bagage qui
rise,
fait le
something
descendre.
makes it
Tandis
fall to
qu'on
the
a
ground.
promesse
When
de
you
Dieu.
have the
Tandis
promise
qu'on
of
a
God,
prophétie,
when
mon
you
Dieu.
have the
Moi,
prophecy
je
of God,
dis aujourd'hui,
I come to
si
tell you
elle
today that
tarde,
if it is late,
attends-la.
wait for it. Wait for it.
En 2025,
In 2025,
Rien
we're in
ne s'est
2025 and nothing
on
is
a l'impression que
You can have the
Bon Dieu
impression
m'a menti.
that God lied to you.
il y a des gens qui sont découragés de
Some people are discouraged already.
quitter route là.
They already left the path. Some people say, ever since I was young, they said God would do it and He would
Mais
do it,
tout va
but
mal.
everything is going
Moi,
wrong.
je viens dire aujourd'hui à chaque
I come to tell you today, my dear
que
friends,
pas en retard.
that you are not late. Wait for it.
Parce que j'ai besoin de
Because
comprendre
what you need to understand
ou qu'à quitter le temps
is that
fixé.
you can leave the fixed
Mais ça
or
va
appointed
veut dire
time,
que
but
les
this
promesses
doesn't
de
mean
Dieu sur la
that
vie ne vont pas
God's
accomplir.
promises will not be fulfilled.
Ou qu'à pas dans le
You
temps de
may
Dieu.
not be in the
Mais ça va veut faire
time
de
of
Dieu
God,
un
but that
menteur
doesn't
pour
make
ça.
God a liar.
Parce que ça, moi, avait
What
besoin
you
de
and I need
comprendre.
to understand
C'est que le
is
Dieu
that
que moi,
the
avait on a
God that you and I
servi,
serve,
il va vivre
doesn't
dans le
live
temps.
in
Mais
time.
avant, on a servi un
we are
Dieu
serving a God
qui
that
vit dans une
lives
lumière
in
inaccessible,
a light that's inaccessible
mais qui fonctionne
functions
dans l'éternité.
in eternity.
Ma réponse.
I'll repeat it for you.
Dieu que nous avons servi,
God that we serve
il va vivre dans le temps.
does not live in
La Bible
time.
dit, il
The
vit
Bible
dans
says
une
he
lumière
lives in a light that's
inaccessible.
inaccessible.
Lumière
An inaccessible
inaccessible traduit
light
que une lumière
translates
que nous
as
pas
a
qu'à
light that
pénétrer,
we
nous pas qu'à
cannot
voir,
penetrate,
nous
a
pas qu'à
light that we cannot
saisir.
see, we cannot see.
Mais cependant, il
But yet
agit,
he
il
acts, he
fonctionne, il
functions, he
performe dans
operates, he
l'éternité.
performs
Cela
in
traduit
eternity.
tout
This
simplement que le
translates
temps de
simply
Dieu
that
n'est
the
pas
time
votre
of
temps.
God is
Le
not our
temps de
time.
Dieu
The
n'est pas
time
mon
of God
temps.
is
Le
not our
temps de
time.
Dieu
The
n'est pas
time
le
of
temps
God
de
is not
l'autre.
the time
Le
of the
temps de
other.
Dieu est
The time
différent.
of God
Il
is
dit
different.
clair
It says
et net.
clearly
Sous garde où est notre
that
temps
if you
Paula,
see in your
dans
time,
l'ordre de prévoir,
in the
dans
time
l'ordre
that
de
you was
penser,
appointed to you,
dans
the
l'ordre
time that you got,
d'imaginer,
the
dans
time
l'ordre de
that you imagine, the time
comprendre où
that
elle
you
peut
believe or
arriver.
understood, it
Ça
has
veut dire pour la
arrived.
qu'on a
That doesn't mean
prostitution.
to drop yourself
Ça veut
in
dire pour la
prostitution.
qu'on a
That doesn't
vol.
mean
Ça
drop
veut dire
yourself
pour la
in theft.
qu'on a
That doesn't mean
homosexualité.
drop
Ça
yourself
veut
in
dire pour suspendre
homosexuality.
semaine
That
dans
doesn't
l'œuvre de
mean stop
Dieu.
sowing in the work of
attends.
God, but wait for it. Wait for it.
Toutefois, on va maintenant dire, ok.
Allow me to tell you
Non seulement Dieu ne vit pas dans le temps,
that not only does God
mais il y a un ensemble
not
de
live in
choses
time, but there's a bunch of
qui
things
fait que
that make
les promesses de Dieu
God's
dans la
promises
vie, moi, avec eux,
in the lives of you and I
prend plus de temps
take longer
que prévu.
than And I want to tell you at that time, it doesn't even depend on God. It depends on you and I, that often the promises of God on our lives, it doesn't arrive in the appointed time. Israel left Egypt with the idea to spend 40 days along the path. And the Bible said that their behavior, their attitudes, their bad actions made that instead of them spending 40 days, they spent 40 years. God wanted to have an itinerary of 40 days, but the behavior, the action, the attitude made that 40 days turned into 40 years. And there's something I want to tell you today, my dear friends of the Lord, that there's many things that God would do in the lives of you and I already, but it's because that until now we are not ready. It's not that God isn't ready, but it's often that you and I aren't ready. My friend, look how long you've been here and you've already come to the church. You have a car and then you stand somewhere and you're thinking if it will start on Sunday you want to go to the beach in a small house that you're living in an apartment where you only have one room, and you understand that you can humiliate people in it. You kick people out of it. You speak people however you want. You speak ill of people. People cannot speak to you. If the person is your servant, they have to wash the dishes, they have to mop, they have to fix the bed, they have to mop, they have to cut the grass, they have to do everything. You're not ready. The time is here, but the attitude of you and I, our behavior made that we're not ready. And you just received a job, you just finished college, and you're already questioning the existence of God. And now listen to people of men who are making logical sick because now you're working. You see, now all the men who are your friend or those that question is there a God, the people you wouldn't even speak to, who wouldn't even greet you before, who wouldn't even take the phone and call them. But because God began to raise you, God gave you something of it. He gave you a little bit. He gave you a little taste. And now that's where you want to sit. Now you're making a debate. Now you're criticizing pastors. There's no pastors that can preach. There's no pastors that is a thief. All pastors are thieves. There's no pastor that's good. Oh, the church is for vagabonds. Church is for people who are senseless. You're not ready. It's a test. I want you to understand, my friend. Now you see this car that you take as something great. It's a test. In the house of God, there's more. Are you here, church? Are you here, church? You see this house that made your head so big? It's a test, my friend. In the house of God, there is more. You see this job that you think, you see this boss, you see this promotion that you received. I want to tell you that it's a test. In the house of God, there is more. And now, because they gave you 50 cents more, you don't have time to come to church. Well, if they gave you $3 and if they gave you $10, our attitude made that the appointed time pass, and we don't seize the grace of God. It's our attitude. Israel was supposed to spend 40 days. Their behavior, their attitudes made them spend 40 years. And the second thing that made that the fixed time or the appointed time passed without us receiving the grace of God is our disbelief in faith. There's things that you want to receive in the house of God. It asks for a great amount of faith. There's things that you want to receive in the house of God. It asks for a great amount of faith. You must have an extraordinary faith. There's things that you want to receive in the house of God. Whether you believe or whether you don't believe, you will receive it. But there's things to receive in the house of God. It asks for a great amount of faith. You must believe. And there's things that God will tell you to do, my friend. If you don't have experience with God, there's a friend that will tell you, don't do it like this. There's someone that will tell you that the pastor's lying, and you will reroute and you won't do it anymore. There's things that you're supposed to do in the house of God. You need to believe that God can. You need to believe that God can remove you from where you are. There's a situation that you're living in. For God to remove you from it, He has to see your level of faith. He has to see that you have great faith. I want to tell you, my friend, that there's things that ask for faith. There's things that not only does it ask for prayer, it doesn't only ask for action, but there's things that ask for faith. If you come to church because they told you to come to church, if you give offering because they told you to give offering, if you pay your tithe because they told you to pay your tithe, if you give your first fruits because you want the pastor to see that you're giving a first fruit, I want to tell you you're doing this for no reason. But there's things that you reach and appear with the house of God inside. You need to appear with faith, and no one can change it. No one can trouble you. No one can make you leave. And there's a way that you reach in the house of God. Even if people speaking ill, you won't leave. There's a way that you reach in the house of God. Even if the pastor kicked you out, you cannot leave. You'll say, Pastor, I regret this for you. There's something I came to look for in the house of God, but you tell me that even if you tell me to leave, I won't leave. Elijah said to Hannah, you see, women do not drink when you finish drinking your alcohol, do not come to me. Do not bring your alcohol. And Hannah was supposed to turn around and leave. She was supposed to be angry and leave. Look at a prophet. Look at a chief priest. Look at a man who's here to understand me. And I'm crying before God. And instead of understanding me, she treats me as someone who's alcoholic. She was supposed to leave, but there's something that Hannah understood. Something that she wants to look for. She won't find it anywhere else but the house of God. Oh Lord, it's not, I'm not drunk, I'm not crazy, but I have a pain inside of me. There's something that's eating me. There's a pain that doesn't understand that treats me wrong. I will not leave today if I do not receive something. Instead of leaving, I want to tell you something. Even if you give me a child, even if you won't give me a child, even if I give it to me, may the world see that you gave it to me. May the world see that you blessed me. You can take it after, but for giving it to me, you will give it to me anyways. It asks for faith. It asks for great faith. It asks for great amount of faith. And often it's the amount of faith on which why we cannot seize the grace of God. We have the faith of a chicken. While we're in the church, we believe, but when we go outside, we say, do you believe it's true? You pray, you don't believe. Some people, they don't believe so much that even in the depth of their prayer, there's something passed in their mind and they leave it. You need to have a level of faith to the point that you understand that what you're asking God, God owes you. Are you here? I remember there was a time where I was in a difficult situation on the economic plan, very difficult. And I said, Lord, come here. We'll have a conversation. I said, let's speak. And I want to tell you, I'm going to tell you how I said it. If I could tell God, then it's not you that I can't tell. I said, Lord, I will ask you some questions. How many times did I have money in my hand and I passed it in the middle? How many times did I have money and I went to the nightclub? How many times did something that I own that isn't passed in your service, something that's for me, that isn't here to utilize in your ministry, well, if it's like this, then you see this case is not my case, it's your case. Because whatever I owe, whatever you give me, at the end of the day, it's passed in your ministry. It passes in your work. It passes in your service. So what is here today is not my case, it's your case. There's a phase where you reach with God, you need to speak with God in the function of your experience. But to do this, you need to understand and respect the laws of heaven. And there's something the Bible says in Luke chapter 17, verse 5 and 6. The apostles asked Jesus something and said what?
Les apôtres dirent au Seigneur, augmente-nous la foi.
There's things that we
Et
could
le
do.
Seigneur
Increase our faith.
Et le Seigneur dit, si vous aviez de la foi comme un grain de sénévé, vous diriez à ce sycomore, déracine-toi et plante-toi dans la mer, et il vous obéirait.
If you have faith as small as a mustard seed. You know what it means if you have faith as small as a mustard seed? Do you know what a mustard seed, a grain of mustard seed is? It's what they call mustard. It's even smaller. It's so small that when you hold it in your hand, it's with difficulty that you see it. You see it very clearly here. It's very, very small. But when Jesus said to the man, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you would tell the mountain to move. You would tell the mulberry tree to be uprooted. Do you know what a mulberry tree is? A mulberry tree is it's a strong tree. It's a tree of height to the point that for to see Jesus, he was so short that he had to go on this tree. He said, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you would tell the mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it will obey you. In other terms, you would say, you need faith that is very, very small. Isn't that right? But when we see this small mustard seed, and when we put it in the ground, when it grows, look at how it becomes. This is how it becomes. The small thing that you saw, that you couldn't even see, that was so small, people couldn't even see. So in other terms, what Jesus wants to say, Jesus said, you see how long you've been with me. You see my miracles, my wonders. You see the great things that I've done. And if your faith has been growing for this long, if your faith has been growing for this long, if your faith has been growing the same way as a grain of mustard seed, you would reach a phase where you would have elevated faith. You would have such a great elevated faith because this small mustard seed, when it grows, it gives, it takes all the space for it. And if you have faith as a mustard seed, so if you had this, you would have a faith that is so enormous. You would have such a great faith. Your faith would be so great that you would tell to the mulberry tree be uprooted. Because you would have a faith that's so strong. You'd have a faith that is so strong and firm. You would say to the mulberry tree, be uprooted and go and be planted in the sea, and it would obey you. Only if you had faith as small as a mustard seed. So there's things you need. Great faith. I want to tell you, my dear friends in the Lord, that there are certain mountains and there are certain obstacles, there are certain challenges in life that you will not be able to face. You won't, if you don't have a growing faith, if you don't have a faith that's growing. I want to tell you, my dear friends, that you spent 5 years in the church and you still have a small faith. You still don't believe in anything, even though you're in the church for 20, 30 years and you still don't have faith. You still fear everything. You tremble for everything. I want to tell you that it's good to cry, but when the person tells you, they tell you something, you cry, you want to give up very quickly, because if you took one disappointment, you understand that you could leave, because if you take a second disappointment, you understand that you could leave. I want to tell you today, my dear friends, if it doesn't work today, do not be discouraged. Wait for it. You go to work and they fire you, do not say God's promise is not here. Wait for it. And whatever you find yourself in, you think people reach before you. You have the impression that your sister went and left you, your friend went and left you, your cousin went and left you. You have the impression that this pastor went and left you. Look at their beautiful house. Yesterday he just came here. Yesterday they left the United States. And look at how big their house is. Look how big their car is. Do not hate people for what they are. Wait for it. Wait for it, my friend. If you see that you're working and you're into business and you do everything that you need to do and nothing works, the time is appointed and past. I want to tell you today, wait for it. If it is late, wait for it. It says, if you have faith as small as a grain, as a mustard seed. That means if you have faith that grows, if you have a growing faith, if you have a faith that is living experience, that if you have faith, if you don't have a faith as a baby, and you say to the mulberry tree, be uprooted, and you will be uprooted. And Apostle Paul understood this very well. Apostle Paul said, when I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child, and said, when I have become a man, I put the ways of the childhood behind me, and from now we only see a reflection as in the mirror, then we shall see face to face. And now I know in parts that what I know now fully, even as I am fully known. You had a faith, if yesterday I had a faith as a baby, if yesterday I had the faith of a child, but now I'm an adult, now I'm older, now I'm serving God, now I have my experience with God, now I'm a man, and it must be done that I have the faith, a growing faith to the dimension of a man. If yesterday, my friend, you weren't able to penetrate the spiritual things, if yesterday everything that appeared before you made you scared, but today I must have a faith, I must have the possibility to penetrate the spiritual. And he said, there's a time I didn't know, but there's a time I didn't know this at this. But there's a time when those meetings being made behind your back and you couldn't be here. If there's a time, my friend, when the plan was being made in the spiritual and I couldn't be here, the tabernacle, I want to tell you today that it is time that when the combat is being made behind your back in the visible world, when the devil is making a plan behind your back, when the evil is making a plan, when they think that you're not here, when they look and they see that you're sitting, they see you sitting, they see you standing in the meeting, and when they look and they see that you're here, that you understand what's being said. Oh, the woman said, we don't have a traitor. We don't have a traitor in the palace, but there's a man. There's a man in Israel. There's a man in Israel. There's a man in Israel. Even if you speak in your room, even if you speak under your bed, and where he is,
passé.
knows what is
Pas
being
besoin de
said.
mon dire. Pas
He
besoin de
doesn't need anyone to tell him. He doesn't need anyone to explain to him where he is in Israel, where the meeting is done. He's already seated. I want to tell you, my friend, that whether you're seated, where you may be seated where they're speaking ill of you, may you be seated. There's things being done. May you be seated. When the enemy is making a plan while you're asleep, may you be seated. And when they wake up in the morning, when they understand that they can strike you, and it's them who is struck, because where you are, you're seated. There's a man in Israel. Oh, my king. It's not a traitor that's in the palace. But you see, in Israel, there's a man. Even if you're making a meeting in your room in your house, even if you speak to your pillow, my king, if you say his name, if you speak of this man's country, he already knows. And I want to ask you today, how you've been in the gospel for this long and they're eating your children you don't know. You're telling jokes to the person that's eating your children, you don't even know that he's eating your children. You're telling jokes to the person that's destroying your family, you don't know it's them. You're telling jokes to the person that's destroying your business and you don't know it's them. How long have you been in the gospel? 20, 30, 40, 60, 50 years, and the enemy stands before you, the devil stands before you, and they're eating your children, they're ending you, and you can't even see that it's them. For how long you've been in the gospel for a person to...
Autrefois, lorsque j'étais enfant,
when I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. But now, I am an adult. You see, I don't hide to tell you. The one who will fall, you will fall. The one who will die, you will die. The one who will become lame, it's you who will become lame. Listen, if it's for the one who will explode, then I guarantee you, yours will explode. There was a time I was a child. I spoke like a child. I reasoned like a child. I thought like a child. And that's why at that time you could make me cry. That's why at that time you could put tears in my eyes. And that's why at that time you decide to make me laugh. You decide to make me angry because I was a child. And that's why you decided when I'm supposed to be happy, when I'm to be sad, because I was a child. That's why you decided if I will eat or if I won't eat, because I was a child. But now I want to tell you, I have become an adult. Back to sender. When you touch the rock, I would touch the rock. I would throw it back, and I'll make you understand that between you and I, because I reason like an adult. If yesterday I couldn't penetrate the spiritual things because I was still a child, but now that I've become an adult, I'm now able to hear and penetrate the spiritual. I want to tell you today that it's no longer the time to continue seeing things in a dark way. It's not the time to continue to see dark. It's high time to penetrate the spiritual world. It's time, my friend, that when an evildoer becomes before you, you can say that's an evildoer. It's more than time for when someone dresses as an angel to say, this is a demon. It's time, my friend, for when someone to give you a handshake and you look them in their eye and for them to take that handshake and say, you can go. It's more than time, my friend. It is high time. If you look and see until now that you can fall into powder or an evil handshake, I want to tell you that truly you are a child. You are a baby. You are a child, and you don't understand anything in the gospel, because there's something you need to understand, my friend. Whatever authority you see in the world comes from one place. It comes from the house of God. And because it comes from the house of God, there's something I want you to understand. The time to call these evil spirits to ask for a way, for that evil spirit to ask, that evil spirit to ask for a way. That's why when you come to strike me, you already see me seated, and I guarantee you that in the spiritual world, it's a question of who will rise first. It's a question of who will rise first. It's a question of who will rise with the most. Who offers the most. I want to tell you today, my dear friends, that if you want to destroy my children, I'm ready to destroy your children. I'm ready to destroy your wife. I'm ready to destroy your mother. To destroy your brother, your sisters. I'm ready to destroy your whole race if you want to destroy my children, because there's something you need to understand. In the spiritual, it's the one who gets most. Oh, look at Goliath said to David, I will give your head to the birds of the sky, the birds of heaven. And David says, there's something you don't understand. If you're giving my head, then you know what I will give? I will give your head. I will give your soldiers. I will give the whole army. I will give the general. Oh, the one that gives the most is the one that will receive what they want. And if it's my head that you want to give, then that's okay. I will give a whole army. And you will say that who, between you and I, who will pass first? Who will reach first? I want to tell you today that if you want to destroy my family, if you want to destroy my children, if you want to destroy my business, you'll be destroyed. Your family will be destroyed. Your children will be destroyed. Your grandchildren will be destroyed. Because now I have become an adult, and I do not think, I do not act, I do not reason like a baby anymore. I do not reason like a child anymore. I have become. If there was a time, it is high time to penetrate the depths of things. Tabernacle de la grâce. It is time. The hour has come where we must penetrate in the there of God. It is time for us to be seated in meetings being made in the spiritual world and to make resolutions. If only you had faith as small as a mustard seed, though it linger, wait for it, and it will certainly come and will not delay. May God bless you tonight.